Hello friends and welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan Abear and this is where I share my insights, and I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope that my insights are helpful to you in your journey. And today I am talking about carefree living. So if you're interested in carefree living, I have some thoughts about that. If you are a worrier, if you are OCD, if you are meddlesome, if you have a dislike for variance, if you can't seem to get your life sorted out, then stick around. I'm going to talk about this feeling of living a carefree life and what it might take to get there. Years ago, my best friend used to play for a church, and at Christmas time, everybody comes to church on Christmas. And he used to hate it when the heat was on. This was in South Louisiana. And it wouldn't get that cold, but, you know, an empty church is cold. But when you start packing in people, it gets stuffy. And so he was so tired of the heat being on, because it also affected the pipe organ. When the heater's on, the pipe organ doesn't like that very much. It makes the organ go out of tune. And so one year he put a sticky note on the thermostats, and in bold letters it said, "The heat is off." Well, there you go, folks. The heat is off. The pressure is off. The spotlight is off. Carefree living is thinking very carefully about how important it is that others are looking at you. Big brother is watching. Daddy is scrutinizing. And other people care. And even if other people care, does that really affect your performance, your so-called performance? So I want you to put that in your mantras. Put that on a sticky note. The heat is off, which means that you generate your own electricity. You generate your own light. The perception of the spotlight, like I'm on me. The heat is on. I'm in the hot seat. I'm in the spotlight. That actually produces a feeling of freezing, right? If you feel like you're in the hot seat, if you feel like you're under pressure, you're frozen. You can't perform. Your limbs won't move. You can't speak in front of people. You get all sweaty, but yet frozen. So you sense there's no aliveness in you. There's no electricity. There's no joy. There's no exuberance. It's this. You're completely consumed by this ghost of other people watching me. It's a heightened sense of me. Well, I want you to go on YouTube after this and watch that scene from Billy Elliot when he goes to the Royal Ballet School. And the examiner says, "Billy, tell me how you feel when you're dancing." And Billy doesn't know what to say. There's an awkward pause. Because he has to go into his memory bank and sort of try to imagine or figure out what it's like. Because maybe he's never been asked that before. There's a pause, and he says, I don't know. I don't know. And they kind of go, the people behind the table doing the audition kind of go, there's this sadness. And then he jumps in again. He says, I feel good in my body. I sort of disappear. I sort of become electricity. It's like electricity, and I fly like a bird. Well, there you go. Billy Elliot was trying to describe the abstraction of getting lost. It's this idea that he could dance, that nobody's looking at him. It's just he would spin around on the dance floor and become a radiant light. Well, that's what you are. The heat is off. The heat is off. There's no hot seat. There's no one scrutinizing you. As a matter of fact, I would imagine that there's more people supporting you than scrutinizing you. But it still doesn't matter. It's a perception. It's understanding that you are the source of the electrical energy of aliveness. Look, you can't be alive without this electrical current. So the positive and the negative terminals are connected. There is contrast. Yes, there's sickness. Yes, there's darkness. Yes, there's unloving acts. Yes, there's suffering. But that zing, that buzz is being generated by the epicenter of your being. The very I am is generating the illusion of I am not. This idea of other, the spotlight on the outside, the scrutiny, the pressure, the heat is on. Guess what? It's coming from within you. The spotlight out there is no different than the spotlight in here. It's just that the one in here is pure love, flanked by passionate desire, supported by simply an honest movement in the universe of compassion and love and carefree play, fun and frivolity. If you want to see somebody who's like that, go and look up Jacob Collier. I'm sure you've heard about him. That dude is amazing. He's a musical genius, and he just goes around and loves it and plays and messes around. He's like Billy Elliot, and the world loves to watch him glow. Some people don't like to see other people glowing, but that doesn't matter. Does that put the heat on you if somebody doesn't like your light? No, not at all. That electrical current within you of passion and joy, you cannot be snuffed out by anything. You gotta glow up to be carefree. Which means you have to be mature in understanding that you are the light. And that you can create what you want, but you have to move. You have to act. You have to shuffle your feet and look like an idiot. And I say that in the best sense of the word, because we're all idiots. You cannot be afraid of what you look like, what you act like, because fundamentally what you are is the same thing as what I am. And the spotlight truly is not on you. Spotlight is coming from you, from your heart, from your core. That's how light is made. It appears like the sun is shining on you. But in this invisible center, you are the light of the universe. And you are essentially naked, vulnerable, honest, and abandoned. That's what he means. That's what Billy Elliot means. He sort of disappear. You abandon the idea of being watched. Let me tell you something. Nobody cares. That seems cruel, doesn't it? But that's what frees you. Nobody is scrutinizing. There is nobody else, essentially. Look, if you want a critic, you got one inside of you. What would anybody else's opinion really mean? You got your own critic, you know. You carry it around with you all the time. But that critic can be constructive. That critic can help you in your creative journey. It all can be constructive if you want it to be. But the heat is off. The hot seat is not hot. The pressure is not on. You're not in the spotlight. You are the spotlight. And from there, the individual self vanishes. Boom, you're gone, and you've glown up. Taken up into glory, doing your thing, dancing like Billy Elliot, and loving every minute of it. So can I ask you something? How do you feel when you're living? That's just like that examiner at the Royal Ballet School who asked Billy, how do you feel when you're dancing? Billy feels alive. He feels electric. He feels love. How do you feel when you're living? Me? I feel alive. I feel electricity in my body. I disappear and I fly like a bird. That's carefree living, friends. Because I am the spotlight. I'm the radiance that shines outward in the world. The heat is off. Live that way. Create your own warmth. Move. Act. Do. Lean into it. You'll see. This fear of being petrified is nothing. Okay, friends, my name is Ryan Abair. I appreciate that you spent some time with me today. And if you liked what you heard, I would really appreciate it if you would check out my blog. It's called mymorningmotivator.com. And we'll see you next time.